Hi, this is Robert, your spray foam advisor. And last week I talked about the marketing side of the business and some of your options when you're looking at potentially hiring somebody internally or outsourcing some of those different marketing components. And today I want to talk about another component of the business. I want to talk about sales. And on the sales side of the business, it's pretty rare that we outsource the entire sales component of our business, right? Because we typically are going to be most responsible. We typically are going to be most aware of how our business works and how we actually generate and drive sales. So most of the time we're going to have somebody responsible internally for sales management. And what this sales manager does is that they oversee the sales process, they oversee all of the sales people, and potentially they oversee any independent or outside sales consultants. They could be independent reps that aren't on staff, that just get a commission only basis when they help sell jobs or when they make referrals. Whatever your organization looks like, however it's set up, these concepts can apply to you. And essentially what it comes down to is that sales manager is going to be responsible for the numbers. They're going to be responsible for the strategy, for the sales strategy. They're going to be responsible for sales training and making sure that all the salespeople are up to speed and know how to go through the sales process, to make sure the salespeople actually know what the sales process is for your organization. Ultimately, they're going to be the ones that drive those sales numbers, and that's really what they have to do. Sales managers have to understand that sales is a numbers game. That if you close 20% of your calls, then all you need is 100 calls to make sure you get 20 closings. And that's ultimately what sales comes down to. And then it's a matter of organizing those calls and making sure that your team generates as many calls as possible given their specific parameters for making calls. And it can vary amongst businesses, which is why I'm being kind of generic here. But from a sales management perspective, sales oftentimes is a numbers game. Now, when you get down into the trenches, sales, there's a very simple process to go through to actually move a prospect from learning about your business all the way through to closing. And it's very important that salespeople, that sales personnel understand that sales process and actually take their customer on a journey of understanding why they should be buying from you, why they should choose you in the process. And ultimately, oftentimes it revolves around you putting forward your unique selling proposition and then tying your customers' wants, needs, and desires to your unique selling proposition or to your company. Ultimately, what does your company do differently and better than every other company out there? Why should your customer choose you? And if you can make that connection, then you're going to win more business than your competitors in the long run. But ultimately, you can make sure that sales is taken care of in multiple ways. The primary thing is you're going to have somebody internally responsible for overseeing sales management. Most of the time, our businesses are going to have sales people, sales reps that report to that sales manager. But we may also, in some situations, have external or outside independent reps, once again, that are not part of the payroll. I know I mentioned those things a couple of times, but it's very important to understand some of those nuances and some concepts. Independent sales personnel or independent sales reps or independent manufacturers reps are slightly different than sales people. So it's important that you understand the difference between having an independent rep working with you versus having an on-staff rep working with you. And this, as I mentioned, this can apply across multiple types of organizations or types of businesses. But it's very important for you to understand these concepts. So that's my tip for today. Make sure you take a close look at how your sales organization is set up. Make sure the managers are looking at the overriding statistics that drive the sales growth of your operation, and then make sure that your salespeople have the right tools and training and understand the sales process so they close more of their sales. One surefire way of increasing sales in an organization is making sure their sales reps are trained properly to increase their close rate. If sales reps can increase their close rate, they don't need any more appointments and they can generate more sales. So this has been Robert Naini with Spray Foam Advisor. Thanks for checking us out. Catch us on some more videos.